Hello, how are you?
Great.
Welcome to the Community Mediation Center. My name is Shane. And I think I get your names on the phone, but I just would like to make sure I have it correct. What was your name?
Casey.
Casey? Casey what?
Ray.
Casey Ray. Okay. C-A-S?
E-Y.
E-Y. It's one of those names we put this one ways. And your name was?
Sam Peterson.
Sam Peterson. S-O-N?
Yep.
Okay, great. So, again, my name is Shane McAndrew, and I'm here to work with the two of you to try there's some kind of dispute that brought you here today to see if there's something I can help you with. What I'll be doing is facilitating a dialogue that can kind of hopefully bring some reconciliation or resolve to the dispute that you have, if that's possible. The proceedings they're confidential. I won't be sharing what we talk about here with anybody. I'll be taking notes, but that's kind of more just to keep track of what I'm doing. I just sort the notes afterwards. It can't be subpoenaed. I'm neutral or impartial, so I won't be taking sides or even really I won't be helping you decide what your priorities are. That's for you guys to decide. Did you have any questions on the confidentiality or impartiality?
No.
Have either of you been in mediation before?
No.
No. Did you have any specific questions about mediation or?
So her parents, her parents and I pretty much see eye to eye on the issue. I mean, will they factor in any way if I got like a letter of, solidarity from them or something?
Okay, well, we can talk about that. It seems that the parents are something that's involved in here, and we'll explore that. Right now, why don't I try to catch me up to speed on the story, and we can look into questions like that. We'll go from there. So, the one thing I did gather that this is you share a child, Nick.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So why don't we start off with Nick? Casey, why don't you tell me about Nick?
Nick is 2.
Okay.
And he's 2.5 now. He was born after Sam left.
Okay.
And, we've been just a happy little family on our own for about 1.5 years, and then Sam wanted to have visitation rights, so we worked it out that he could see Nick when I was present, in a public place. And then I actually got deployed when he was 1.5 years. And he was to stay with my parents, Nick. So
Okay.
he was happy.
Yeah, who was gone? Write that down.
Okay, that's
1.5
not my... No, he was 1.5 years.
Yeah, and you were gone for a year.
A year.
So you were deployed in Iraq, and was
that's
Iraq
not
or Afghanistan?
Iraq, and that is not my control.
Okay. So you were in Iraq, and Nick was staying with your
My
parents.
parents.
With your
And
parents.
they understood the visitation rights and agreed to it. But somewhere down the road, I don't know how, they all decided with Sam that Nick could stay over at Sam's 1 night a week without the parents, my parents. And when I found that out, there wasn't anything I could do. Nick was happy to have a daddy, and I understand that. But, it was not my choice, and that's not... He was with me the whole time. He wasn't even around when he was born, so that's my choice, that he doesn't get to see him on his own.
So Nick was born. He was until he was about 1.5 years. He lived with you. You were deployed for how long?
A year.
A year, 1 year, and so he's with just you. And then when you went to Iraq, you left him with your parents. You had this arrangement over
Who are
visitation.
old. Her parents are old. They can't take care of a 2.5-year-old.
So Sam, tell me about the visitation arrangements and how that's all gone.
Well, I was only allowed to see Nick somewhere that Casey was present. You know, I feel like she didn't make it very easy for me to see him. You know, and you know, it might sound bad, but the best thing for Nick and I's relationship was when Casey was deployed, because that was the only time that I actually got enough time to form a bond with my son. You know, I mean, the rest of the time I'm sitting there being watched like a hawk, like I'm some sort of like freaking pedophile, you know, like, I mean, he's my son, and I'm a good dad, and her parents know that. She knows that. Whether or not she tells you is a different thing, but, you know, I'm a good dad, and I don't get to see my kids, so I don't have an opportunity to be a good dad, because I would only see him, I mean, like, once a week, and supervised by her. I mean, and I don't know what she's saying to Nick about me when I'm not there. I mean,
So
I'm
it
sure
sounds
it's
like to me like being a good parent is really important.
Yeah, yeah.
Why
I mean,
wasn't it so
being
important
getting
when
to
he was born?
well, I mean, she and I. So Nick, I mean, she and I were together for a couple of months. She gets pregnant. She told me she was on the pill, and then she's, you know, all of a sudden pregnant. And, you know, I didn't sign up for that. You know, I thought that we were having a fun time, whatever. So then, you know, we decided to have Nick, which was a great decision. I'm really glad that we did that. However, you know, she and I obviously do not work, which is why we're here. And
So the pregnancy was unexpected.
It was unexpected, but then, you know, just because it's unexpected doesn't mean that I, you know, just because she and I aren't together doesn't mean I'm not a good dad. And I want to be there for my son, and I feel like I should be allowed to be. And, you know, we could have taken this to the courts ages ago. I've been, you know, I didn't want to cause any trouble. I didn't want to, you know, turn it into a huge custody battle, but, you know.
So you didn't want to be in court, but here you are, and it sounds like you want to continue kind of building that bond with your son.
Yeah.
That's just difficult for me when you weren't around for the first part of his life. I mean, I was the sole parent there, and here you come just deciding that you want to be the parent, you know, a parent involved now. And yes, I was away, and yes, I understand, you know, I believe you want to be a good dad, but that doesn't erase the fact that you weren't there in the beginning.
I wasn't there because you wouldn't let me be there. I
So
was.
tell me, well, let's maybe it might be helpful to explore that a little bit. I'm hearing from you that, you know, you're honoring that Sam wants to be a good dad and be a good parent now, but it sounds like maybe there's some difficulty with that he wasn't there from the beginning.
Yeah.
So
No help.
could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was just me. No help. You were gone. Yeah, we ended on bad terms. It wasn't fun, but you knew I was having our baby, and you weren't there for the birth. You weren't there to support us when he was a newborn. You know, yeah, maybe you came around, but I don't want to say a little too late, but it wasn't easy. It was just us. And
Well,
So Casey, it sounds like it was really hard
Yeah.
for some time. When Sam did you start to get involved more?
I mean, I wanted visitation right from the beginning. I would have taken him half time if she would have let me. But yeah, it's got to be pretty hard to be, you know, a parent when, you know, I mean, when you're trying to co-parent or when you have two parents, you know, a lot of that stress and everything could have been taken off your shoulders if you'd let me spend some time alone with him. Like, yeah, it's got to be difficult to constantly be there if you insist that you're constantly
Well,
there.
how am I supposed to trust you if you just to be alone with him in the beginning without me being there if you just take off?
Well, how?
So it seems like you could see where some of the stress in the beginning was that because you weren't there, that you weren't there to help. And it sounds like you have some issues.
And he's an
questions of
infant.
trust.
He's got to be with his mother for at least the first, you know, year and a half. You can't just be alone with him for like a whole night without me.
I think it's done all the time. We're not the first couple to break up right before having a kid.
So Sam, tell me about, and actually first I want to just check in, because it seems like this is kind of important in this beginning of when after Nick was born. Is it okay if we just explore this a little further?
Mm-hmm.